Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. It's 7 o'clock in Arizona. The sun just went down. I'm actually feeling pretty good. Day 2. How are you guys feeling? There's Caitlin. Hi. We're doing it. We're here. I had to take a nap today, but it was a good nap. It was one of those pass out and drool naps. Now, you take an hour nap, you wake up, you feel amazing. So tonight we're going to talk about body care and the importance of it. A lot of people focus with cleansing on what you're putting in your body, which is really important. But what you put on your body is just as important, because if you're putting all kinds of chemicals on, and especially things that have sodium lauryl sulfate in them, and there's two kinds, sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate, anything with a laurel thing in it. It's very toxic for your skin, and it's actually used in a lot of skincare products, including shampoos, including lotions. So we are going to show you guys a whole natural thing tonight. And this is what both of us practice in different ways, but we each have our own little favorite things and things we do differently. But in the end, it's really about putting the most natural things on your skin and your body that you can. So the first thing I'm going to talk about tonight is dry skin brushing. Now you have a whole section of this in your manual on page 32. And this is what it looks like. It's a little round brush. And I like the Yerba Prima brush. It says Yerba Prima on the back. And you can get these at Whole Foods. We also carry them on our website, and we put them in our cleansing kit because we think they're that important. I skin brush almost every day, but during a detox, I really make sure to skin brush. And the reason you do that is because since our skin is one of our largest eliminative organs, it's spread out over our whole body, it's a really great way for the body to remove toxins. And that's why we usually get breakouts, or our skin gets dry, or something starts to happen when we have something going on in our body. It could be a detox, or it could be you just ate fried food, or you ate too many carbs. If you see people that get those bumps on the back of their arms, that's from eating, in my theory, it's from eating cooked, bad fats and carbohydrates.
Yeah, fats.
And sure. I've noticed girls in yoga, I just notice things, and they're so beautiful. They have great skin, but they have these red bumps all over the back of their arm. And I'm like, oh, if you could just skin brush, you'd be so happy. My skin went from being very dry and always flaking and always I was constantly putting lotion on, to really hardly ever using lotion. Now it's been super dry here. It's winter, we've had the heat on. So I've been actually feeling dry, but even with that, I don't have any lotion on right now, and my skin is nice and soft. The other thing about dry skin brushing, so the first thing is that it helps you eliminate, because you're going to brush a layer of dead skin off, and your skin can breathe better. The next thing is its immunity. It actually helps to boost our immune system. So what this is kind of a little form of acupuncture or acupressure. You're going to be going over every single part of your body and waking it up and stimulating it. And so it's just a really great way in the morning. I would recommend doing this in the morning to kind of wake yourself up and stimulate your immune system. The next thing is just overall well-being. I notice when I do this, I kind of feel like if I don't feel like working out or I'm tired, once I skin brush, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. It's wakes you up. You have this great sense of overall well-being. You feel good. And it's just a great way to start your day. It's better than coffee. And then for beauty, what it does for beauty is it softens your skin. It actually gets those dead layers off. You can even use it on your face, but I would recommend getting a smaller one that's intended for faces, because this is a little too harsh. It also gets rid of the red bumps on the arms. I've found for me, it got rid of cellulite. And that's a big one for a lot of women. They're like, whatever I do, I can't get a cellulite. And this skin brushing up on the back of your thighs is a really great way to move that fat that's under there and just get it to release. Because remember what I said about ketosis, that the pathogens are stored in the fat cells? I don't know if you remember me saying that about toxins, that the reason it's great to go into ketosis, which is when our body kicks into fat burning mode, which is about now. Between now and tomorrow, we're really going to be in fat burning mode if you've been doing no apples or no sugars in your diet, no fruit. So when we go into ketosis, it's going to start gobbling up everything in the fat cells, because the body's looking for a source of fuel or energy. And so when you're skin brushing along with it, you're like, hey, you, get moving, get going. So you brush in the places that you really think need it. Do that a little extra. And so beauty also, you just notice your skin glows a little more. You're a little more rosy. You're a little more just, your skin looks better. And so when I first started dry skin brushing, this is way back in 1997 when I got into raw foods, the gal that was teaching me was also into skin brushing. And since I told you I had eczema and I had all these things wrong with me. I was kind of, the eczema was still there because I was brand new to raw foods, but I'd already done the cleanse, so it was pretty much gone. But I had the worst dry skin, and I noticed that my skin turned all white everywhere. It turned bright red, and then it just, like the white part, like all of a sudden I looked down, I'm like, my skin is just white everywhere, like that flaky white. But then I just kept at it, like for at least, you know, I just kept going. I did it for years, every day. And after about a week of doing it, it got soft and shiny. It's like buffing a car or buffing something that's dirty. You got to keep at it. And then it's going to get worse at first, and maybe you're like, oh my God, this is uncomfortable, or I'm red, or I'm white, and then it's just going to shut off, and you're going to have this beautiful layer underneath. So it's just like shining silver. Get at it. Get started. So how do you do it? The instructions are in your manual, but just a quick overview is you want to start at your fingertips, work up your arm towards your heart, always in one direction towards your heart, and then the other side. Both legs, do your bottom of your feet around your ankles, then up both legs, and just, I usually do 7, like, so an example would be like on my upper arm, 7 in just that one spot, up towards the heart. But you do it all around the whole arm, the bottom of the arm, everything. And you start from the bottom and you work your way up. And then you do the whole torso. You even do the back of the head. You turn around and you put this brush in the back of your head. You go up and down about 14 times. And then back and forth about 14 times. And then you even come down like around your neck. And you'll feel, like if you feel right now, like while you're watching, just go like this. And you can feel those lymph glands. You can feel how there's toxins that want to just move out. I think that's a really good feeling when you just do that with your fingers and move that lymph. There's a lot of lymph in those lymph nodes. So you're moving it into your heart area. You're kind of moving it down with the brush. And then the next thing is the armpits, and there's a lot of lymph if you feel in there too. And then right above the breast is another great one. For men, the chest is the same thing. But you'll feel that there's like a sore spot there if you feel for it. And if you feel and rub that and you feel that, that'll start to help remove the toxins. So that's like lymph drainage. And we don't really get very many opportunities to drain our lymph. The only way is rebounding, jumping up and down. So if you ever feel like, God, walking just isn't doing it for me, it's because you're not getting that bouncing motion. So do a little bit of jumping even if you don't have a rebounder. The other one is skin brushing, because it actually moves lymph from under your skin to your heart, and then you end up peeing it out. That's why it's great to do it in the morning. Because you don't want to do it right before you go to bed, because then you're not gonna, it's gonna sit floating around in your body. If you do it in the morning, you usually drink some water and then you go to the bathroom and it kind of flushes it out. And then let's see, that's basically the experience I had. So, I just want to finish I'm excited. So you do all the lymph glands, which is in your groin as well, up and down the sides, you know, brush, 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 around in circles on your back and your buttocks. So just get the whole body. And if you're not sure what to do, if you forgot your instructions, just start scrubbing. And then the last thing you do is called the thymus thump. So right here on your breastbone, you're gonna make like a flat of your wrist and do like a 14 thumps, like a heartbeat. And what that does is that's what starts your immune system. So that's a great one to do in the morning. You can do 21, I like 33, I like the 3s. And then you do 3 really deep breaths, because when you open your arms, you bring that air into the bottom of your lungs, and then you expel it all the way, like, and even like stick your tongue out and really expel. Especially this week, it's important to get that toxic air out. So you can do just like the lion's breath where you and stick your tongue out. And it's goofy, but yeah, don't you feel
like
yeah.
sensations?
Yeah.
I'm just sweating almost, like I'm clammy now.
You know what's interesting is our body has cellular memory. I don't know if you've noticed this, but so I look at green juice now, and my cells get excited. I'm like, I need that. Yeah. And then I look at a skin brush, or I start to do the finger, and the whole body goes, I know what this is. Yeah. And it starts to get excited. Yeah. Like a dog that sees a bone or sees its master. Like there's something like, I know what's going to happen. I'm excited. So our cells are so smart. Our bodies are so smart. So once you start doing this, you're going to start craving it. And like now I look at my skin brush in the morning and I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Let's take that extra 5 to 10 minutes. The other thing I love to do, and I'm going to talk a little bit about essential oils tonight, is put a little essential oil on. So lavender is great, but it's relaxing. So if you're fasting, maybe it's a great one to do. But in the morning, I like to do something like rosemary oil. Now, rosemary, I don't know about you, but it's one of my most invigorating oils. I usually do this while I'm meditating. I just put a drop or 2 in my hands, rub them together, and then just take 3 deep breaths. You want to smell it?
Oh my gosh.
It is so invigorating.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like, and you know who turned me on to this is Chef Ito. This he was actually a student of mine at one point when I worked for Living Light, and he owns a really great, amazing, unique cafe in Orange County. And he doesn't speak. He's a silent chef, raw food chef only. And you come into his restaurant and like he knows me, so he just like starts making stuff for me. But his food's really unique. But what he'll do is just come out with something like rosemary oil and make you smell it. And it's like, oh my God. So he really turned me on to that. I was like, I had no idea this oil could make me feel so amazing. So I put some of that on my brush just to keep the brush smelling fresh. Clean it every once in a while with some apple cider vinegar, and then don't move it around too much. Just let the vinegar kind of break the oils down because it will get oily. So I do recommend replacing your brush, what about every 3 to 6 months, depending on how oily you are.
Yeah.
You'll see it'll start to get dirty. Like that one's clean because my skin is cleaner now, but when I first started doing it, it got dirty pretty quickly. And even spots like behind my ankles that I thought were just kind of normal, I don't know what I thought it was actually just dirt that had never really been scrubbed. So it was like these little brown spots. That was a long time ago. But anyway, you find interesting things when you're skin brushing. You're like, I didn't know that was there.
And when you wash it, you can also stick it out in the sun.
Yes.
Gets all
Yeah, the sun
off, and it makes it so it stays really firm too. Just like hardens it
yeah,
back up.
it kind of dries the bristles and makes it, because that's agave, which is cactus fiber.
Yeah.
So desert outside's a perfect place. And then the sun, as you know, not just with skin brushes, but with everything, with your body, kills bacteria. So get your belly out in the sun, get your skin in the sun. This time of year is great because you don't feel like you're overheating. You can just sit outside on your phone calls or whatever and get a little sun on your belly, pull your shirt up. And that's a really great way to heal candida or bacteria or any yeast that's going on in there.
Especially after you skin brush.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I do is I really focus on the belly because that's usually my hardest, like where I have the most issues. So with my skin brush, I'll go in counterclockwise and then do little tiny circles all the way around. And then I'll even put the essential oil on it, like the Digest that we're going to use tonight. And then do that on my belly. And
okay.
Helps. And then sit out in the sun. That's like
double. So you really focus on the belly. I should probably do that too.
Yeah.
Just learn something. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's move into just talking about more about our skincare and our skin and what we put on it. So the first thing you're going to do when you're cleansing your skin is exfoliate, right? You want to get all the dead stuff off. There's a lot of different ways to do that. I just got this Clarisonic brush. I've always had one of those little spinning brushes, but this one's the Clarisonic, and it actually works with sound waves, and you move it around, and it just really gets like it works 10 times better than just washing with your hands. You really get the old, dead skin off, and your skin becomes more vibrant. And to exfoliate, I have just a really nice liquid exfoliator that I bought at a natural food store. It has a little bit of those like little bubble or bumps in them, whatever you would want to call it. And I just put that all over my face and really scrub for about a minute or two. And luckily this thing beeps when the minute's up. So I kind of know, okay, I'm done. Get my chest too. And sometimes I'll do my hands. So that'll help just get all the dead skin off. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to tone, right? So Caitlin's going to show us what she does for toning.
So
for a natural toner.
I used to buy really expensive natural toners all the time, and then I figured out what was actually in them. And this is one of them. This is witch hazel. Many of you might have seen this before. This one has aloe vera in it. This is like a great base for your toner, or if you just want to use this as your toner. Sometimes I'll just use that. But right now I've been mixing it with apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is astringent, and it gets out blackheads. It clears your pores really well. And it just livens the skin. So I'll do a mixture of that. And I have a little spray bottle here, one of these amber bottles. You can get these at a lot of health food stores. Yeah. But I just do a little mix in here. Sometimes I'll put even a drop of essential oil in there too and use that as my toner.
So grapefruit oil is really good for the skin. So a drop of that. Or
that's
what kind do you use?
It depends on
frankincense.
Frankincense a lot of times,
Frankincense is one of those super amazing ones for the skin as well. It's like
tea tree is also really good.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's like a very maybe one drop for the whole bottle because it can sting your face a little bit too.
But if you've got acne or you've got any breakouts, if there's teens that you're working with.
Yeah.
But I do something a little different. You spray it on, but what I like to do is put it on this like a cotton pad, and you can get those ones that are a little bit rougher.
Yeah.
Because what I find is even no matter how much I scrub, if I've worn foundation that day, I'll get some brown on there. And sometimes I find that like I've been exfoliating, so whatever dead skin is on there kind of comes off on that second swipe. So I like to just really wipe it well with cotton. And
I usually spray and then wipe.
And then wipe. Okay, perfect. But you could also use it like to seal your makeup, like to spray it on
Exactly.
after.
Or stick one of these in your car, and if you just want a little refresher, maybe skip the apple cider vinegar if it's going to be in your car. But with this, it just is hydrating as well. So if you're feeling like, oh, maybe you're a little oily or your skin's dry even.
Yeah. And that would be also great for the airplane rides.
Yes.
Put lavender for the airplane because you want to relax. Peppermint oil for your car because usually right before you get out of your car, you want to feel invigorated. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's homemade. It's so cheap.
So
I mean,
cheap.
you can do your own stuff so much cheaper than what you buy it for. Okay, so the next one is moisturizing. Once we've toned, we've cleansed, we've toned, we want to moisturize. So there's a couple things you can use. One is good old-fashioned coconut oil. It's our favorite.
Yes.
I like to use it on my hands. I like to use it just on my face, but before bed, not in the daytime because it's too oily for me. And all over my skin after I've skin brushed. If I don't need to put clothes on right away, I can put the coconut oil and let it absorb. But if I'm going to get dressed in a hurry, then it's going to be oily spots. And I've done that. I've ruined a lot of clothes.
I've done that so many times.
So in that case, then you would want to use a different kind of moisturizer. But the other oil that's really great is jojoba oil. Some people call it jojoba oil. I think English people call it jojoba, but we're near Mexico, so we call it jojoba, but it's spelled with a J. And that's actually supposed to be closest to our own natural skin oils.
Mm-hmm.
So it absorbs really readily, and it's really great in the hair. I use that at the ends of my hair a lot. And then olive oil is another great one. It's a natural food oil. Sometimes they're really strong olive oils, so I can notice sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I smell like olive oil.
Yeah.
But what about like a face moisturizer? What do you use for that for a day moisturizer?
Well, and there's a misconception with using oils on the face, even with people with oily skin or with acne-prone skin. So if you have acne-prone skin or you have a breakout or you know someone, using coconut oil actually helps. So a lot of people who do have acne and they start to use coconut oil and they do it for 7 days, and by the end of 7 days, their skin is like healed because it's antibacterial, antimicrobial. It's extremely healing for the skin. So even in the daytime, I like to at least put it on like underneath my eyes, the coconut oil, and on my forehead. But
and it acts as a natural sunscreen too. It's got like, I think it's like 10, and it's SPF of only 10, but that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so for me, I just get like there's different brands out there. I can't think of the name of the one I have. I think it's ACURE, Acure.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, Acure.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's a lot of great ones on the market that are natural. Go to Whole Foods. A lot of times if there's a friendly person working in the department, they'll give you some free samples, or you can just go in there and lather up and see what feels good on your skin, what smells good. But just read the ingredients, because even there, sometimes you get weird stuff that they put preservatives in. So yeah, just test things out, try different ones. And I'm always still, even now, trying different face creams.
Sometimes I'll just read the ingredients of what's in theirs and try and mimic something.
Yay. And that's what we're going to do next with the clay. So Caitlin's going to show you guys how to make a really fun clay mask. And this is way better than buying it from the store.
So what we are going to use today is avocado. Avocado is really moisturizing, and it just makes this clay or this mask really, really nourishing for the skin. So we're going to do half of an avocado. And I can use this. And then today we're going to use berries. Now sometimes, what do we usually use?
You can use pineapple or papaya. Like when we're in Bali, we use acid fruit, some kind of acid fruit.
So we did like a 4th cup of berries. These were just frozen. We poured a little hot water over them. And then did you want me to use all of this? The recipe
you have is on page 29. And the clay mask, it's on 28. So some malic acid. We actually don't even have the recipe for the clay mask in here. Usually we just mix clay and water, but we've been adding the berries and the avocado just to do an all-in-one mask. So I would say add like half of what's there, like a couple tablespoons of clay. Yeah, and then a little malic acid. And the malic acid, as we know, is really good for the skin. That's probably like a 1/4 teaspoon. You want to talk about? Yeah, so malic acid, I posted it on Facebook. I don't know if any of you read it. It's really beneficial for the skin by taking it internally, but also by putting it on your skin. It's also can bleach your skin a little bit. So if you have brown spots or just discoloration, you can make your own little paste. Now remember, it's quite acidic, so it's probably going to start to burn. So in with the other things, it's going to be better than doing it straight. And it's also just really beneficial for healing your skin overall. And they use it as a preservative in a lot of makeups.
They do.
So it's in some makeups.
So this will be a preservative in your mask, so this can last in your week or in your fridge for 5 days.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna blend it. These little blenders are really handy. We have the magic bullet for small things like this. It's really great instead of pulling out your blender. So. Might need to add a little bit more water. The clay will suck up a lot of water too. So.
Yeah, definitely will.
Oh my gosh, it smells good.
No, I wanted to eat today for sure. But I didn't.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. You can mash the rest up with a spoon or spatula.
And I'm not going to put the clay in the blender because it'll be even harder to blend. So we're just going to mix it in by hand. And now you don't want to eat it as much.
Although I was just talking to someone about eating clay because she's had
cleansing.
problems with heavy metal toxicity. And clay, I used to take it a lot when I first started doing cleanses. I had bentonite clay. I had it already mixed into a liquid in my fridge, and I would just drink it. And what it would do is I would start to taste heavy metals on my tongue, like that metallic taste, and it would suck them up. And within 2 minutes, I wasn't tasting the metal. And so this is called Living Clay, and we actually sell this now because we think it's such a great product. Living Clay. This one comes, well, you can get them as a paste, so the clay is already made up, but they actually come in like a big tub, and it's edible clay. So it's designed for what I'm just talking about, like the bentonite clay. So you take it internally. So if anybody that you know has any heavy metal poisoning or they're going to get their metal fillings out, I would recommend for a few days before and definitely like for a couple weeks after, just like a tablespoon in water and mix it up into like a 1 cup thing and just shoot it down. It doesn't taste like anything. It's a little gritty, maybe sometimes like dirt, but not gritty, sandy like dirt. It's just kind of, it's a living thing from the earth. It's not going to hurt you. It's not weird toxic dirt.
Just make sure you drink a lot of water with it though, because it can stick like cement in your body.
No.
So this clay is beautiful. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like pudding.
Yeah, it does. It's all fluffy and light. And it feels like I've been realizing because we did the detox last month and I was doing those for like a week because we had leftovers. Yeah. And my skin, I kept saying, ooh, it's so soft, it's so soft. Yeah. And tonight I was like, I get to do masks again. And we had some in the fridge, but you get busy. So this during a detox is a great opportunity to take advantage. Make this for yourselves when you get off this webinar, and then do it every night or do it twice a day because it's that amazing. It's that healing for your skin. You're gonna feel soft, but you're also gonna feel like it's pulled stuff out. It does a little bit of everything.
And if you don't have berries, you don't need. If you don't have avocado, you don't need those either. You can use a little coconut oil.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be avocado.
Anything, yeah, even just clay. Clay is a great one too, with a little coconut oil.
Yeah, yeah. Or even if you have like coconut meat, but usually most people don't want to waste that on a face mask. They want to eat it. Yeah. But you could do that. And then this is the perfect amount. This is actually a lot. You could probably, that'll be enough for 2 people to do every day for a week. So, we always find in Bali, like the people that are helping us are like, how much papaya do we need for this mask? And it's literally for 20 people, like a little end of a papaya. Like you don't need a ton of ingredients for this. So in the next mask I'm going to show you guys is and it's in your book. So this one's in your book, and this is on page 29. And it's a nourishing anti-aging seaweed mask for the face and hands. So the first thing you want to do is Irish moss. Now this is something, if you've taken any of our courses or you're planning on taking our courses, you're going to learn a lot about Irish moss. We use it in food because it's very nourishing and beneficial. It actually helps pull toxins out of the body as well. All seaweeds do. But this one's unique because it's clear, and when you blend it up, it gels, so it's really great thickener in pies and things like that. But we've also found that people are spending a lot of money, like up to $100 or $200 to go get a seaweed wrap, when this is so much cheaper to do it at home. So you want, the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup. This is probably more, so I should take some out. I don't want to be blending all night. And then I brewed up a cup of green tea because it calls for 1 cup of hot green tea. Why green tea? Because green tea is really good for your skin. You know how they talk about putting tea bags on your eyes if your eyes are puffy? Well, the green tea in here is going to be really beneficial and tightening for your skin. So about a cup of tea to a 1/4 cup of moss. And we soaked the moss. I actually had it in the freezer, but soak it overnight or soak it for 3 hours. You can get this on Pure Joy Planet if you're looking for it, but you can also find it in some of the health food stores. So blend. It does take a little bit longer to blend because it's those fibrous little things, but you can see as I pour it out. Maybe I'll just pour it in here. It smells really good. I can smell the green tea. It was actually blueberry green tea, so it's by Yogi Teas. I don't know if you guys like Yogi Teas, but this is actually the perfect amount. So what you're gonna do at this point is just take it and rub it, like you can rub it on your arms and rub it on your hands. And you might even forget it's on there because it doesn't really dry super tight. And then it'll start to look like your skin's peeling a little bit when it dries. What we do when we do the in-person retreats is we put a meditation on, like a 30-minute to a 1-hour meditation. Everybody lays on their yoga mats, they put the masks on, they put the cucumbers on their eyes, and they just meditate or fall asleep. You wake up, you wash it all off. You're gonna find, we love it so much, that your skin is just soft and amazing. I mean, I'm gonna put it on and start to probably flake a little bit. But
it has a hair mask too.
Yeah, you can put it in your hair.
Mask,
it's really nutritious. It's adding nourishment to your hair. Yeah. So that's our Irish moss or our seaweed mask. Put it on your whole body if you can, if you want to. And like if you're gonna go lay out in the sun, put the Irish moss on there, and then it'll dry. You'll shower and you'll feel like, oh my gosh, I didn't get the soap off, even though there's no soap because it's so slippery feeling and soft. Is that it on our masks?
That's our masks.
Okay,
we're just going to show the cucumber. Great to put on your eyes. It's really hydrating.
Yeah.
So just little slices.
Right. Just slice them thin so they don't fall off. Because if they're too thick, I find they pop right off. You got to do them really paper thin.
And it feels so good too because they're a little bit cold and it's just relaxing.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you an excuse, like lay down and close your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing you can do if you have a whole cucumber and you so what we use is this little mandolin. It's like a really paper thin mandolin. You could put it on, like put the mask on. And if you're afraid of the mask drying and cracking and being painful, if you're gonna lay down for a while, you just do these like thin slices of cucumber and like on the #1 setting. And what'll happen is it'll keep the moisture in whatever you're doing so it doesn't dry up and get painful. Oh, that's shredding. I don't want that. Now I have to eat it. Just kidding. Only kidding. I'm feeling kind of goofy tonight. Oh my God, these are perfect. See how they're super thin and flexible? I don't know if you can see that, but like if I stuck it on my face, it would just stay there. I got green blush on. So it's just really good to do as paper thin. Get yourself a good mandolin. We love this one. It's super easy. We use it for everything, for a lot of things.
We do.
Yeah, for sauerkraut, for making your own kraut, for everything. Okay, so this would actually be great blended into your face mask too, and a little bit of hydration. Cucumber juice is great for your kidneys. So if you know anybody that's dealing with kidney pain or needs to cleanse their kidneys, do a lot of cucumber juice. Okay,
great.
What's next?
Next we have
hair.
Deodorant. Oh, hair, yes.
Hair or deodorant. Well, we're just gonna talk about hair. So hair is similar to body care. You wanna make sure that it's the best quality you can get. I've played a lot around with different stuff. My hair tends to be very dry. It's just naturally porous and thick and dry. So I use this one called GPB. And it's a white bottle with a green lid, and it's all natural, and the conditioner feels like really thick and luxurious, but it has protein in it, so it really helps my hair. That's a really good one for my hair. Yeah. Do you have a favorite one that you like?
Well, I use Acure now, and I know how important natural shampoo and conditioner are, because if you're sensitive to gluten, wheat, anything like that, as I am, make sure to check the labels, because more often than not, it'll have gluten in it. And I found that I had cut out all these things for my diet and was really trying to feel better. And then I found that my shampoo even had gluten in it and my toothpaste had it. So just start reading your labels, and a lot of times there'll be a lot of ingredients you don't understand, but try and get as simple as possible. But I do like the Acure brand. I think they have 3 different kinds, like hydrating or volumizing.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. I like that brand too. And then just what you said reminded me that since we're eating through our skin, we're actually eating that gluten that's in the product. So if you're going gluten-free, and I'm not gluten, like I don't have celiacs like Caitlin does, but I have white gluten, and if I do have it, I notice my feet get hot and I do puff up. Like my hands start to swell, my fingers, I feel like they're all like sausagey. So you're going to absorb it through your skin. So if you're someone who's on the sugar-free cleanse program right now, where you're not doing anything sweet, no fruit, nothing, don't put any honey in your masks, okay? Don't put any real sugary stuff on your body either, because your skin will react to it, especially if you have eczema or something that the yeast are looking for food, the sugar. So if you have eczema on your arms and you put that sugary thing on there, like, so don't get those sugar scrubs for sure. You're just basically putting sugar on top, and that bacteria, especially if you're trying to starve it out inside, it's going to go rushing to your skin and you're going to start to itch like crazy. And one remedy for itching, you mentioned it earlier, is tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is a great one to spray on your body or put in coconut oil and rub on your body right before you go to sleep if you feel like you're kind of itchy from maybe detoxing. Sometimes the yeast start to get activated, and when you stop feeding it, you might start to feel itchy. Or if you ate something sweet that you know wasn't on your program and you're like, oh my God, my skin's itching, I can't even sleep. Little tea tree, a little coconut oil, and that'll, like, all the bacteria don't like that, so they kind of go away. Hopefully not back into your cells, but at least they leave you alone and you can sleep.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so that's hair. And then another little trick for people that have really curly hair is an apple cider vinegar rinse. You dilute it to 1 part vinegar, so like let's just say 1 tablespoon vinegar to 4 tablespoons water, and put that in a little jar and rinse your hair with it. And it'll make the natural curl come out. And it also is good to do every month or so, just to get rid of all the products you're putting on your hair. Like if you use gels or anything like that, it'll just strip all the products off your hair, and your hair will look a lot bouncier and cleaner and lighter. I've seen people with curls, it just looks amazing after they do it. Yeah. And then couple more things about vinegar that's amazing, the apple cider, is it's great if you have a yeast infection. You can just douche with it. And again, it's the same ratio, 1 part vinegar to 4 parts water. I've actually had people that come to me and go, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm detoxing and I'm getting these really bad yeast infections. If you just rinse with the vinegar, it's gone immediately. The itching stops. If you have eczema, the same thing. If you have any skin irritation, just spray yourself down with this or rub yourself down with it, or get in a hot bath and pour a bottle in the bath and just soak in it. It heals baby rash. It heals so many things. I love apple cider vinegar for that.
I want to go take a bath now.
I know. Well, I first read about it in Shirley MacLaine's book, Dancing in the Light. I think it was the one. Yeah. And she was like, this was the first experience of metaphysical that I ever had. And she's like, I get in the bathtub and I pour out a bottle of apple cider vinegar. And so I started doing it. And I was like, she's right. It's amazing. Yeah, so try that out. And it's cheap, you know. Let's see. And so along the lines of apple cider vinegar, let's talk a little bit about deodorant. Deodorant, you want to tell them some things about deodorant? So
a great thing to do to make your own deodorant is, again, with this spray bottle, mix same part apple cider vinegar to water, and then a drop or 2 of essential oils, and then you can just use it as a spray. Make sure to put the essential oils in there, or else you'll smell like a salad. Yeah.
So and the reason for the apple cider vinegar, why it works, is because it kills bacteria. Right. So, and the coconut oil will do that too. Yes. So anything like that is going to just neutralize the smell. It's not going to stop you from sweating, which is really important. Right. It's just going to stop you from smelling when you sweat. And especially on a detox. I've smelled people that have been like eating meat and then they detox. Yeah. And they just start to have this kind of animal-y smell, and it's coming out their armpits. Yeah. So that'll be nice to your friends and put this stuff on. So that, or coconut oil. Or coconut oil. And then the third one is the baking soda. So the baking soda, you can make your own little paste with it, or what I do is I have a washcloth in my bathroom. I always have like a baking soda box like this in the bathroom and under the sink. Just sprinkle a little bit on a wet washcloth and dab your armpits with it. And you can also put a little essential oil in the washcloth if you want, and then it's nice.
Yeah.
Just really neutral. It doesn't smell like anything, so that's what's nice about that.
Be careful with the clothes with that one, though,
Yeah.
because it can get on.
It will.
Yeah, it will.
It will. I mean, so yeah, you got to kind of like let it dry and brush it off before you get dressed, or put it on after you get dressed. Stick it under your clothes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So let's talk a little bit about teeth now, because teeth are really important. Teeth seem to be one of those enigmas or conundrums that we're like, we're eating all these raw foods, we're eating really healthy, but we're still like, I need to take care of these little things in there.
These bones, they're bones. They're living bones.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've actually had really healthy teeth. I'm really blessed, but I've been taking good care of them. I used to have a lot of cavities, and now since eating healthier, my teeth are pretty great. I haven't had a lot of issues with them, but I want to stay on top of it because I talk to people that have had all kinds of issues.
Well, they actually say all disease starts in the mouth too.
Yeah.
So even if you're eating all these raw foods or you're taking care of your body and you're detoxing, if there's still some infection or gum disease or anything going on in your mouth, you're swallowing all that. It actually can cause like brain and nerve things. I mean, the mouth is so important. So taking care of it is super important with all these natural foods.
Right. So the number one way to take care of your mouth is oil pulling.
Oil pulling.
So this we liquefied it because it's cold here. So I just put a little warm water underneath it. But you want to, do you want to tell them how you do your oil pulling?
Well, it's best to do it in the morning. You can do it in the evening too, but do it in the morning before you brush your teeth. And you're just going to stick like a tablespoon in your mouth. And if it's hard, that's fine too. Once it gets in your mouth, it's going to get soft pretty quickly. And you're just going to swish, just like you would any other
mouthwash.
Mouthwash, yeah. So you're just going to swish for about 20 minutes if you can. It's going to go from really thick to really liquidy, like almost like water. And you're going to swish it for, again, 20 minutes. And you don't want to swallow any of that because all of the toxins that you're pulling, sucking out of your gums and in your teeth, you don't want to swallow any of that back down. So when you're going to spit it out, you're going to spit it out. I always suggest in a trash can because if you spit it in the sink, it could clog your sink. I've had a couple people come back to me and say that was what happened. So make sure you spit it in the garbage or down the toilet. And then brush your teeth really well after. And this is when you can brush your teeth with baking soda. And it's really beneficial for that. So make sure you do it before you brush your teeth and brush your teeth really well after.
Right. And you can just so 20 minutes seems like a long time, but in the morning this week while you're doing your enema, when you're getting things ready, whatever, you're skin brushing, just do the oil pulling at the same time. Yeah. And it's actually kind of a good excuse to be silent in the morning. Like, hey, I got oil in my mouth. Yeah. And sesame oil is another one that you can do for people that are really thin or they chill easily. Sesame oil is a little more warming. So those are two really great oils. Yeah. I think you can use any kind of oil, but we really prefer the coconut.
I suggest either sesame or coconut, and I always use coconut. I like the coconut. I don't think that the avocado oils and the olive oils are going to have the same benefits. They're not as antibacterial or antiviral or fungal, so these ones are magic. But
here's some benefits. So the reason why do you oil pull? Because what it does is it pulls the toxins out of your bones, basically into your mouth. So if you've got an infection, an abscess, you've got a headache, guess what? It's going to pull the toxins out. People have healed all kinds of ailments in their entire body. If you start Googling this stuff, you're going to be like amazed at the testimonials of things. But one of the nice side benefits is it whitens your teeth as well. So people go, I was just doing it for like 3 days and my teeth got whiter. Yeah. And it's a really natural way to whiten. So anything that's going on in there, if you're going to go to the dentist, oil pull before, oil pull after. Yeah. But like she said, if you disrupt the gums by brushing them, that's not as beneficial. So you want to really pull first and then you brush because you don't want to irritate the gums before you start pulling.
And actually last retreat, we had a student who had an infection in her mouth and her gums were swelling. And she came to me and she's like, what do? I can't go to the dentist. First of all, I'm in Bali. I don't know who to go to. And I said, well, first, let's try oil pulling. Do it twice a day. And she did it once. And then the next morning, she came back and she said, oh, my God, my gums have completely gone down and swelling. And I said, okay, great. Now go and do it again right now. And she went and did it. And by the end of the day, she had no infection in her mouth. So,
yeah, so do hyper it. Like do it 3 or 4 times a day if you've got something going on. Yeah. And if you only can do 5 minutes, you're like, oh, my God, I'm over this. Just do 5 minutes. Some people are like the first few times. They're like, I could not keep it in my mouth for 20 minutes. So 2 minutes is better than no minutes, right? And coconut oil is cheap. So definitely recommend just keeping a jar of this. I kind of keep my body care products separate from my eating. So I have a separate jar of coconut oil in the bathroom that stays in the bathroom. You don't want to take them back and forth. Yeah. Same with anything you're using in the bathroom. You just leave it in like the baking soda or whatever. It's not, you can't like suddenly I'm going to use it for my cookies. You want to leave it in there.
I'm gonna stick my hand in it, rub it all over my body, and I'm gonna stick my spoon in it.
And put it on cookies. Yeah, so just kind of the hygiene thing, you know. We're very sticklers on that with our chefing too. Okay, so one more thing about tooth care is we have this really fun toothpaste, and it really is a paste that you can make from home. So much cheaper. I mean, toothpaste is like $7 or $8 a tube now. Yeah. And this one I've been using since the last cleanse when we made it up, and my teeth are like loving it. They feel so cleaner white than ever.
So, I know.
White, so but white, clean. I feel like that, and like there's nothing on there. Yeah. Sparkly, sparkly.
And this costs like $2 maybe. I don't even know if it costs that much.
Yeah.
To make. So
you want to do that part? So we're gonna put in. Okay, so it's on page. You've got the recipe, and we're just gonna do half because literally, if you're making it for a family of 4, do the whole batch. But if it's just you, do half. So we need half a cup of baking soda, but we're gonna do a 1/4 cup. And you know, any baking soda works. This is Arm & Hammer, but you know. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah. Almost a 1/4 cup. Oh, was there? Oh, you put the oil in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And what else? Oh, and then some xylitol. So, do you guys know about xylitol? Xylitol is a multifunctional food. It's actually in a lot of toothpaste right now and mouthwashes. I'll put this in while we're talking. It sweetens things, so it makes your toothpaste taste sweet. But one of the benefits of it is it's like coconut oil, antimicrobial, antiviral, antifungal. It's,
cavities.
Yes, so great for getting rid of cavities. Well, it's not going to reverse the cavity, but it'll keep you from getting cavities. Mm-hmm. It'll keep you from getting mouth infections. And it's also a great nasal flush. So you could, if you got a cold or an infection, put a little bit in some water and do like the neti pot nasal flush with it. You can put it in your ears. So if you have any kind of ear fungus, ear infection, put some drops in your ears. Especially if you rub it into the coconut oil and have that together in there, or put it in your nose. So this is really great. But we also use it in our culinary academy because we're really into the low glycemic, 0 sugar things. And this is like a 0 sugar sweetener, but it tastes and looks just like sugar. It's produced from birch bark, the one we get, so it's totally natural. I mean, they do process it and it's heated, but it's a natural product in the fact that our body produces its own xylitol naturally. And so when you start taking this, it kind of can flush your bowels. So if you take a lot of it, so it'll make you kind of like a laxative effect. But then once your body gets used to it, you adapt pretty easily. So we like to use it in our cheesecakes instead of agave or instead of honey. This is a really great sweetener. So then, did you put the oil in, the essential oil? Yeah. Oh, so tell them about that.
So you can use peppermint oil. That's probably what most people use. But I thought tonight we would use, it's this Digest blend. And the reason why I'm using it is because it's got peppermint in it. It's got caraway, coriander, anise, fennel, and ginger. And these are all really great for the mouth. Clove as well. So we're going to put a couple drops of this. And it smells really nice too.
And it'll help you digest your food after you eat.
Yes, exactly. Then we just mix it up, and it's this really, really nice paste. And then we just stick it in a little jar like this, and all you need is a teeny tiny bit on your toothbrush. You don't need very much.
Yeah. I mean, the jar I made last month has hardly a dent in it.
Yeah.
It'll last you months.
I could even add more baking soda to that.
Yeah, you could. And it'll get hard if it's cold, so it'll get more solid. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's a really great toothbrush alternative. Do be careful with your gums though. You don't want to scrub the gums too much with baking soda because it can make them kind of raw. Not raw, but just it's not as good. It erodes the gums. So just stay on the teeth when you're doing it. You can also swish with this. Mix a little water into it and swish with it while you're doing your malic acid this week. Remember I talked about rinsing your mouth after you drink the malic acid. So this would be a great one to brush with or swish with. So that's toothpaste, and we really just encourage you guys to do your flossing and do your I have a water pick, which I love. I do it every night. It massages. There's actually a massage button on it now. It massages your gums. It does these pulses, and I find that my gums have gotten really strong and healthy since. And I've been doing it for like 3 years now. And Victoria Botenko told me about it. She's been known in the raw food movement. And so it's a really good one for your teeth. Take good care of your teeth. So what else are we going to talk about tonight? Oh, the last thing is just night care, like what you do at night. So again, we talked about the essential oils and which brand to get. I honestly got to say I've been doing this for years and years and years. I keep coming back to the Young Living. I've tried the doTERRA, I've tried the Simply Organic, tried the cheaper stuff. What I find out over and over again is that a lot of that stuff, they use chemicals to extract it, or it's grown all over the world. They're just getting whatever they can to make these oils. Young Living grows all their own stuff. And I don't sell this, so I'm just telling you because I do. I absolutely love it. But they grow all their own stuff on their fields, and it's just a really good quality oil. And like a bottle like this will last me 2 or 3 years. So yeah, you're like, okay, I'm paying $20, $30 for something, but this is oregano oil, which I use actually if I feel like I'm getting sick, or if I go to a third world country and my tummy starts to feel like it's gonna gurgle, I take oregano oil, and it's perfect for, even on an airplane, you can mist your mouth and it'll kill any virus that's anywhere. So it's an awesome one. So yeah, so at night you could do something like lavender oil. What I like to do is put it in a little coconut oil and rub the bottom of my feet. You can put some socks on if you don't want to get oil on your sheets. But that'll soften your feet, but it'll also just help you to go to sleep easier. You can also put it in a misting bottle during the summer and cool your feet down with it and spray it on your feet. Spray it on your face, put it next to your bed. I sometimes even put drops on my pillow. And like, so when you guys do the liver flush on Thursday night or on the night before, get that lavender oil out if you have any. Put some drops on your pillow. If you're smelling it, it's just going to lull you off to sleep. It's like a lullaby. And if you're nervous about doing an enema or a coffee enema, it's a great time to use it as well. Yeah, you can put it in a mister or a diffuser, which just pumps it into the air. And other nighttime things to do is just try and stop watching any kind of things about an hour before bed, and put some soothing music on if you have a hard time sleeping. And there's a lot of meditations now that you can do on your phone that will just shut off after an hour. And there's sleep meditations. You can find a lot of free apps for this kind of stuff. And I've done that, and I don't ever really have a hard time sleeping, but there's every once in a while hormones are doing something weird and I just can't sleep well. So, essential oils are a really good key to that. And they are actually, some people find that they've healed a lot of ailments with essential oils as well. Yeah. So play around with them. Read some books on essential oils because there's a lot of really great benefits. I don't actually use them as much as I should. I do love them, but I don't use them medicinally. I just use them because I like the smells. But I think it's like your intuition starts drawing you to the right ones. Yeah. Like I'm like, oh, I want lavender. I don't know why. But so I'm sure there's some part of that. I just feel like whatever I've been doing, I feel really good. I feel really healthy. So I'm just going to keep doing that. So anything else to say in parting?
Well, as far as your nighttime routine, try and unplug all your clocks and night lights and all the little lights going on in your room. Having a really dark room is really important for really deep sleep. So yeah, just unplug all those, get your phone as far away from you as possible. I just turn mine off and sometimes huck it across the room. Make sure, like you said, your computers aren't around you. All of those EMFs and everything, it's really disruptive for the sleep. So
that's good. And there's even something you can get to black out your windows. If you live in a city where there's ambient light coming in the windows, get the blackout curtains. And I had that in my last house. Here, I don't need them because it's dark out. But so have a good night's sleep tonight, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning.
Good night.
Have a good night.